All right. Welcome to day 4 of the Becoming Summit. How are you doing today? I hope that you're fine. I hope that you've had a great day so far, and I hope that your week has been phenomenal, just like mine has been. Being here every day since Tuesday, since my birthday up until now, it's been an amazing time. Just having two amazing ladies, grace the screen with me on the summit. And it's been amazing, their shares. It's been inspiring. It's been very instructional. It's been empowering as well, because as these women share their struggles, their challenges, and how they were able to overcome, and what they do to keep their sanity, to keeping on, to keep their resilience in place, to go hard again, to go again. Even after winning one battle, another one shows up, they go again. And just the sharing of those stories and how they were able, to combat a particular adversity that they've been through. It's been very inspiring for me. I've learned a lot as well on this journey in the last 2 days. 2 days, 3 days actually. So this is the fourth day. So welcome to the Becoming Summit 4.0 day 4. How are you today? So let me know in the comment section how you are doing. How did your day go? How has your week been? Hi, Equipment Lucky. Hey, Lucky, it's been a long time. How are you? Good to see you. How are you doing? I hope that your week has been fine. So let me know where you're connecting from as you join the session today. Let me know where you're connecting from. What part of the world? Are you in Nigeria? Are you in Dubai? Where are you connecting from? Let me know in the comment section. And also, please do share this link with somebody. Share on your WhatsApp status, share on your Facebook page, share to your friends, share to your WhatsApp group. Let them come join the conversation today. Today, I have two amazing women on the show today, on the summit today. Again, look at me saying show. Why won't I think it's a podcast? Woo! Okay, so two amazing speakers are joining me today. One all the way from the UAE with me here, and another all the way from Abuja, Nigeria. So please do well to share this link right now with your friends. Ekweme Lucky says connecting from Lagos, Nigeria. How is Lagos today? I hope Lagos is fine. I hope the weather is good, and I hope Lagos is treating you well. Right? Thank you for being here. Like I said before, it's been an amazing 2 days. So we are happy that you're here today. Again, please feel free to share this link with as many people as you can so that we have more people in the room. Okay? But if you're getting to watch this and you're getting to watch the replay, just leave a comment in the comment section if anything dropped for you as you listen or watch this particular summit this day 4 and hear what our speakers have to say. So please feel free to drop a comment and remember to subscribe to this channel as you do so. Woof! So, we've gone through that's 6 stories already on this subject matter of resilience, and each story stood out. And I am just like, wow, this matter of resilience, like it can mean a lot to a lot of people. And it just shows how versatile we are as people, how it shows how strong we are as a people, and it shows how unique we are as well in dealing with our challenges. All the women that have come, they've rarely had similar challenge or exact same challenge, but again, there are interwoven, concepts and principles that that they use or that they apply to be able to face their adversity. And it's just been interesting going through these stories in the last 3 days. All right. So today I have two guests with me. I'm going to, introduce them to you, and then I'm going to bring them on board so that we can have this conversation right now. But again, let me just be sure that I have shared this link with everyone. It would appear that everyone seemed to be late today on the show. But it's okay. They're going to catch up with us because my guests are very busy people and I would not want to keep them here waiting. All right. So I have two guests, like I said before. One is Najjuko. Najjuko is Dubai's diamond in the business world. She's an engineer and quality surveyor. She's a sheprenuer. She's a business development and formation expert. She's a speaker. She's a thought leader. She's a wellness and self-development mentor. And today she's going to be sharing part of her story with us. And on the other hand, I have all the way from Nigeria, Abuja, Nigeria, Dr. Abiola Mercy Dawodu Oladimeji. Olumodeji, also known as Madame Merola. Yes, Madame Merola. Madame Merola is publicly is a total transformational life coach. Yes, she is a total transformational life coach. I mean, she's the founder of the bank, right? She's going to tell us a little bit about that, right? So she is a total transformational coach. She's an image and personal branding specialist. She is a communications consultant. She is a talk show host on Live a Phenomenal Live Show by Merola TV. She is an author. She is a conference speaker and an entrepreneurial studies trainer. Can you see how many hats she's wearing? Her mission is geared towards igniting billions of lives with strong desires to fulfill their God-given dreams and destinies and destinies confidently. Mm. She has worked with multinational organizations in 3 continents, including Estée Lauder, Lancôme, Ikon, Selfridges London, Globacom 21st Century Telecomms, and Carlton TV UK. Right. So we have Jagabans in the house today. We have Moguls. One is diamond of the business industry. The other one is a communication consultant with plenty feathers and hats. She's a doctor already. She just recently, became a doctoral. Now we can say Dr. Merola. Hey, Madam Merola, I think we're going to move the Madam and just put it, or is it Dr. Madam Merola? Let's find out that in a bit. So I'm going to bring up my guest on stage now, and we are going to kick off this conversation on dealing with resilience, right? Um, let me say that correctly. That's the topic correctly. From surviving to thriving, building resilience in the face of adversity. Again, we all know that in life, adversity would not stop coming. So, how do we empower ourselves? How do we fortify ourselves to face every adversity that comes so that it doesn't crush us? Or rather, we are the one who crushes them. Welcome, 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 Madame Merola, Dr. Madame Merola.
Oh my
It's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for taking our time out of your busy schedules to be here. Hi, Najjuko,
God.
the
Hi,
diamond.
everybody.
Where's your sparkles? Actually, the thing is
Always
sparkling. I see.
sparkling.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome, welcome. How are you? How are you ladies doing today?
Absolutely,
Phenomenal.
absolutely fantastic.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's just dive right in because we're ladies. I know it's just like, everybody is just like, oh, what's going on? When this talk starts now, everybody would like, you will be begging you people to, okay, it's almost time. Like, no, no, one more thing, one more thing. I'm like, okay, this is good. That's how the conversation has been the last couple of days. All right, so I'm going to start with the question I start with everyone on this summit is when you hear the word resilience, what comes to mind for you? I mean, I know you can use the dictionary definition, but what is it specifically to you personally? What does resilience mean to you?
Doctor, please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thanks, sis. All right. So let me use this medium first of all to say happy belated birthday to Energetic EJ. Thank you for hosting this summit, and I love the topic. So when I heard the word that we're going to be talking about resilience, right? The first thing that came to mind for me was being anti-fragile. because many times we always think about the fact that resilience just means being strong enough to face adversities and stuff. But for me, the word anti-fragile made me realize that no matter what comes and shakes us in life, let me use the analogy of an airplane going into turbulence, facing headwind, right? So it's going on a course, and suddenly something's trying to push it off course, but it maintains its ground. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to maintain our ground, maintain our lane, maintain our course, no matter what challenges, either internally or externally, are going around us. So that's why I like that word resilience. It means being anti-fragile, not breaking easily, not being tossed to and fro, not being moved out of the course that we've charted for ourselves, regardless of whatever we're facing. So I think I'll leave it.
That was such a bummer starter. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Anti-fragile. Okay. Copy that. Guys, type it in the comment section. Don't let this pass you by. When you type it, you remember it. Anti-fragile. Fantastic. Najjuko, please.
For me, to be honest, if we're trying to stay away from the dictionary definition of what resilience means, to me, it's more likely the refusal to stay down when life knocks you down. Because no matter, if we look at the way life is, by default, from 1 to 50 or 1 to 30, regardless of your age, there will be the ups and downs. But those that don't make it is because they just give in. But I believe resilience is no matter what comes to you, you have this consistent thing that basically tells you you will not stay down.
I refuse to stay down. I love it.
I refuse to
love
stay
it.
down.
I refuse to stay down. So that means even when it hits me, I come back up. Like I bounce back. Somehow
Exactly.
it could take me crawling. I could do it crying, but I
Yes,
am not staying down. Like, no.
that is correct.
I might ask for help. Like, please don't let me go, but I'm not staying down. I love it. I love, like, I should say, like, all these pictures just playing in my head, like, because again, some of the stories that they've shared here with the things that life threw at them, like, man, it's difficult not to stay down. Like, please, I just
Yeah.
want to stay. I'm not doing it again. I'm tired. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not longer interested. Right? But resilience is saying no. I would not stay down. I would not stay down. So let me ask this question now before we then, I'm going to ask you to share your story, but let me, just say this. When you, before you share the story, just kind of give us like a summary of what or how has resilience for you personally, how has it shaped the way that you look at life?
Hmm.
So can you repeat the question?
How has resilience in your own life shaped the way that you now look at life?
Oh my God. For me, I think it's been a game changer because I'm one of those people that kind of grew up in a home whereby life was easy for me.
Hmm.
So I didn't understand the word struggle. I didn't understand the word inconvenience. I didn't understand the word poverty. I didn't even understand the word resilience because I always had things come easy for me.
Hmm.
So I started understanding and actually appreciating the word being resilient when I got married, because that's when my life turned around 360, as in
Wow.
literally everyone talks about from grass to grace. My story is from grace to grass and how I've been able to
Wow.
pick myself back up again, honestly,
Wow.
because it has changed my life in such a dramatic way. I used to be very intolerant of people that were not successful. I used to be intolerant of women, always giving excuses for not achieving things, for being reliant on a man to look after them. But when I went through what I went through, because I know you're going to ask us to share our story,
Yeah.
now I suddenly found out there was more inside of me that even I was aware of. And then it
Hmm.
also showed that I was also more than what the people around me thought I was. Because many of them never expected that I would have the wherewithal, the strength, the conviction to be able to pick myself and say no to the status quo and say
Mm.
no to what would be something that would be pleasing to other people, but was killing
But
me in the inside because I
mm,
was a people pleaser. I always wanted to do things that was acceptable by the general public and by my family and stuff. But I was willing to go and say no, even to religion, because I was a Christian leader and I was willing to say, no, this is wrong, and I'm going to do what I believe is right, damn the consequences. So resilience, when Najjuko was talking, I was like, yeah, refusing to say yes to something that you know is inevitably not who you are and what you've been called to do. So I
mm,
said no. I said no to the pain. I said no to the shame. I said no to the level I suddenly found myself in, which was not in the picture I found myself. So I said no. And I decided that I'm going to do whatever it took. So I found myself doing things I never knew I would do. So when people say, "Oh, I would never do this, I'll never do this," sister,
yes,
it's
never
because
say
there comes
never.
a point where you would do things you say you would never would do, or things you look down on and say, "This is below me." You would do it just to
Yeah,
Mm,
survive. And I'm glad we're talking
yeah,
about survive, not just surviving, thriving. So you
thriving.
do it for a season, knowing that you're bigger than that. And then after that, you start to dream again because I lost my dream. I lost my
Oh,
voice. I lost my identity. I lost my confidence. And I was willing to just stay low and just do the things that other people would say, oh, well, you're achieving, you're doing great. But I knew was mediocre compared to the
mm,
big dream and vision that I had for myself. So once I was able to turn that around, resilience was one of the things that helped me pushing through that wind, pushing through all the opposition, pushing through all the obstacles coming my way and bulldozing myself over some of them that I needed to, I
love
am
it.
not a gentle person. I might look all fragile and stuff, but trust me, I am a dragon when it's necessary. And I will punch you if I need to punch you. I will kick you if I need to kick you. And I kick everything that was standing from me becoming the best version of me. And
Woo.
today I say thank you, Jesus. I am grateful for the fact that I had the tenacity and also the spirit of grit within me to say, I am better than this, and I am standing strong, I'm standing tall, and I am thriving. Woo-hoo!
Woo! I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Wow. Okay, Sarah, I see you. Thank you for joining. Sarah says, I just came back from taking a little walk around the swamp place to my place. I felt so limited. Let me just say that. I felt so limited, so overwhelmed. I felt like I had the whole world on my little shoulder. Oh, sending you hugs, Sarah. Sending you a hug. And I hope that as you listen to this, story from these powerful women on the screen, you're going to find strength to face whatever it is that has come your way. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for sharing as well. Right, Najjuko, please. How has resilience shaped your perception of life?
funny enough, I think for the longest time I probably possessed the characteristic of resilience, but never really owned it to say I am a resilient person.
Mm,
And in the last couple of, let's say, weeks, I've been meeting a couple of people, inclusive of yourself, um, who would mention certain things. And then I almost felt like, wait, maybe I should just go and check in the dictionary what this actual word means, because are you sure that refers to me? But understanding what it means and understanding, let's say, my journey or my story or whatever it is, um, I would say that how it's impacted my life is like, when you are either molding yourself or building your character of what you want to be or what you would want to be remembered for going forward, you sort of try to find the characteristics that define you. And I think every time I think of resilience and how it's changed my life, it's one of the characteristics that I always seem to put at the top, because I'm like, but wait a minute, I went through that and that and that. Wait a minute, that's the definition. Wait, I went through that and that and that. And then I understand that it's not a characteristic that I could depart from who I am, because I
Mm.
feel like I'm the personification of what that word actually means. But it took the world to remind me, you know what I mean? It's not like this is a hat that I just found. Oh, resilience, let me just put it on Naj. But because the world keeps reminding me, because maybe unconsciously, you know, things are happening, and I'm quite an avoidant person, so I rarely, let's say, celebrate the wins. And when the negatives come, then I tend to sort of like brush them off to the side. But
Mm.
when you meet people that keep reminding that you, but wait a minute, that is an actual achievement, then you're like, oh, but then you have to remind yourself that resilience made you achieve that. And then you start connecting the dots and, you know, patting yourself on the back. And then from surviving, you start to thrive, because
Thrive.
you recognize that you're shifting from one perspective to the other.
Another.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it. Wow. Oh, this is going to be sweet. Now, let's get into the juicy part of the steak. Can we bring out our knives and fork
Oh,
and let's
I'm
dig
ready
in?
for the fighter. I'm ready for the fighter. I'm
She's ready.
excited.
We want to hear all about it. How
Oh
did
my
you
God.
deck the blow to the adversity that tried, that dared to what? To shut you down? Or what? To rob you?
Honestly.
What? What?
I
Please.
mean, what? Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, look at me. Like, are you crazy or stupid or
Like,
something? Like, you don't know who you're messing with. Like, honestly, because all my life, people will tell you, anyone that knew me from primary school, I'm not someone that quits on anything. I'm the kind of
mm,
person that can sit down for hours trying to figure out something, because there's just something about it. It drives me crazy not being able to do something that I've set my mind to do. So
Mhm,
quitting is not in my dictionary,
mhm,
right? So everything I've done in my life, I've always done it with this spirit of excellence and success. And I think growing up in an enabling environment helps you, right? Because some people will say, oh, because they didn't have some certain things in place. I didn't have I had the luxury of, having the right kind of education, schooling in the UK, having parents that could buy me whatever I needed to be able to succeed in life, and also to be able to experiment, and knowing that there is something to fall back on, right? In case it
mhm,
didn't work
mhm.
out. Because many people, when you go into something, you feel like, oh my God, I gotta get this right. Otherwise I'm gonna be broke and homeless. That was not for me. I didn't have to worry about that, because I was like, oh, I could say I don't like this. I can say, okay, I want to do something else. Go sit at home for a couple of weeks, knowing that I'm going to eat and have a home to stay in and stuff like that. But as I said, my own crazy story began. My roller coaster journey began when I got married in 2005. So I'd moved back to Nigeria, and I got married, and then, oh my God, all my bricks started, everything I built started crumbling down really quickly. I went through
Mhm,
domestic violence for 10 years,
mm,
and annoying thing about it was that anytime I wanted to speak about it,
mhm,
everyone shut me down. They said, no, 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 don't talk about it. Don't tell anyone. Keep it to yourself. And that just made me miserable. And
mhm,
it
mhm,
started chipping away at my confidence, and also
confidence,
at the
yeah.
power I'd already grown with my voice. Because when you
mhm.
say someone like me was born to speak, not to talk,
Shut
like
up. It's
literally,
like
Yeah.
you
they took
imploding. You
away,
want her to
the
implode.
source of my strength. So I was literally dying inside. I ended up having two children, yet I was still freaking miserable. I became suicidal. I tried to
Oh
kill
no.
myself. And this is me that everybody sees me on the outside. I owned a spa, a beauty
Okay.
company. I was, I'd resigned from my job as a manager at Globacom, and everyone's looking at me as in, she's got everything.
Mhm,
Meanwhile, they didn't know that I was literally dying on the inside. I was suffering
Mm.
from insomnia. I became paranoid about many things. I became bitter. I became angry. I became, I became someone who really started, I didn't forgive. That's the word. I was
Mm.
wallowing in unforgiveness, and I ended up putting up so much weight. Sisters, you won't
Wow.
believe it if you saw me at one stage in my life. I was a freaking hippo, and I wasn't even seeing it. You know, I was so fat, and I couldn't even see how fat I've become. It's ridiculous, right? So I'll just say,
Wow.
oh, I'll
Yeah.
probably think there's something wrong with the clothes. No, there was something was wrong with me. Clothes couldn't fit because
Yeah.
I was eating away my anger, frustration, bitterness, and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't up until literally, I would just say that my life came back to normalcy 1st of January 2017, when I heard a voice of God
Okay.
tell me that it's time for you to unleash your voice. And when
Wow.
I heard it, I knew instinctively by the third time I heard that voice say that what it meant. Because up until then, I'd said, okay, it's fine. I don't need to do all those grandiose dreams I've had, that I could just be okay with running a beauty business and be a celebrated entrepreneur and forget about my dream of becoming Africa's version of Oprah, of, igniting billions of lives. I literally shoved all those dreams to the side because I was like, who's gonna listen to you? Those were what the voices in my head were telling me. They're gonna look at you and say that you that was domestically abused for 10 years, you that you became homeless at one point, you that you can't even tell your husband or have enough value in the face of a man that he would not do this to you. I
Hmm.
literally had all the objections right in front of me telling me
Mm-hmm.
who I could not become. So once I heard that voice, I literally, sisters, I'm not joking, I literally knew that it was time for me to do what I believed in and not care what anybody else said. So I said,
Yes.
well, the worst thing is that people are going to talk anyways. If I stay at this level, they will still say something. If
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do what I know I'm called to do, they will still say something. Let
Mm-hmm.
them talk while I'm doing what I know I've been gifted and purposed to do, while I'm doing the
Mm-hmm.
thing that I have so much passion and competence to do. And that was how I began. And that's how Madame Merola was born. Because I suddenly said, I'm not going to use my old names, which is Abiola, Mercy. I'm going to be called Merola. And Merola is a combination of the two names, but the meaning is slightly different. That the mercy of God has given me honor. So it was not about riches. It was no more about wealth. It was about honor. Honor in the face of men, honor in the face
Mm.
of God, knowing that people will hear my story and something inside of them will
Oof.
shift. That something deep and buried within them would rise up and say, yes, I can become, I can arise, I can overcome, I can be everything that God has said about me. There is nothing holding me back. I am equal to all, inferior to none. I can shine my
Woo!
light so bright that the world will truly see me and stand and say, yes, this is somebody that didn't just live. This is somebody that touched lives. This is
So good.
somebody that transformed lives. And that's
Mm.
how I began. That's how I
Oof.
started speaking. That's how I said no, to the point that I said, I'm willing to get a divorce. I would rather be single and powerful than be married and weak. And that was how
Miserable.
I was
Mm.
able to punch the devil's face and say no to abuse, say no to being low, say no to being mediocre, say no to be an average version of myself. I am who
Mm-hmm.
I am today by the mercies of God because I found the fight within me to get up again and say that no, I'm not just going to be a survivor. I'm going to be someone who thrives so hard and so well that other people will be inspired to get
Inspired.
back up and keep going again. Fall 7, rise 8 times. Fall 1,000,000 times, rise 1,000,001 time. There is still
Ooh.
more. There's still another fight in you. There's still a deeper level in you. You can do it. You can become it. Don't let anybody tell you that you do not have what it takes. You already have it within you. Look inwards. Believe in yourself. Grab back your power and go for it. Thank you.
Whoosh. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I'm literally having goosebumps, honestly. Like, woo, there is something. You know how the Bible says that I feel fire shut up in my bones. That's how I feel right now. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Like somebody here, Sarah, I think, Sarah, I almost said this service is for you. Oh my God. Like, are you guys seeing what Sarah is writing in the comments? Like,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
oh my God, like,
I
wow,
can't
wow, wow,
see.
wow, 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 wow. Let me put it on
Okay.
the
Okay.
screen. Let me put it on the screen. And like, she's just like, she's like, this is what she needed right now. Like,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
been off and she just got here, and it's like you are directly speaking to her right now. And this has got me all shivering because, again,
Mm.
I am a one person. Like, I am a one person woman. When it came that, just do this, I was thinking like, God, this is my birthday and it's my penultimate birthday, right? Next year I'm going to climb the fourth stairs. And I'm like, God, I don't want it to just be like that. What do I do? And I don't want it to be just like anything. It's like, what about your summit? Right? I was supposed to do this summit in March, to celebrate the Women's Day,
Women's
right?
Month.
Like, okay, yeah, but it didn't happen. So I moved, like, I'm going to do it in August, something in the middle of the year. But when I started thinking about, what can I give? What can I give this birthday? And this came. And then I started to say, okay, what do I talk about? Like, what is it going to be about? What are we becoming this time? Because the Becoming Summit is about becoming. And it just, I don't know. Like, all of the plans came together in just about 2 days. Like, the title, resilience, like becoming resilient. I'm like, okay, who am I going to talk to speak to? And all the names that came to mind just happened to be women. I'm like, at first I was going to be like, but this is not a women's program. Like, I'm just going to do it anyways. I really don't care, but I know that there is somebody out there. Because again, I looked at it, right. Since COVID, we can now see clearly that, honestly, women, we are powerful. We are powerful. Like, the
We
whole
are.
thing affected a lot of people, but you can see how strong the women have been in the whole mix. And I was like, who else is better to talk about resilience? Talk about resilience. Talk about, like, all the stories that have been shared here with all the women. I'm like, gosh, man, you're super women, and it's inspiring. I personally am inspired. So I feel like, in fact, when I did this, I'm
EJ,
like,
sorry, let me just add something real quick. I'm sure
yes.
you didn't know this. When I mentioned 2017, that was the year of my 39th birthday. I'm 45 this year. So my turnaround, it's not a coincidence that this is happening to you. My turnaround came in my 39th year of existence. So I was about to turn 40, and God made me become a voice to the women that and said that what you wish you had before you turn 40, be that voice to the other women
Oh
below
my
40.
God.
And that's how I
Oh,
became Madame Merola, the bank creator that ignites the beautiful and bold, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece in you. So honestly, I celebrate you on your 39th year of existence because a shift is about to come into play. And that shift is beyond what you can even imagine because God has got you and is taking you to the highest heights.
oh, please don't let me cry.
It's tears of joy, darling. Accept it, receive it.
So, Sarah, I feel you. Like, I resonate with whatever it is you're feeling. Like, this is for you. Just take it. Just like Najjuko just said, receive it. Just whatever you hear. Like, you
Mhm.
might literally not be hearing what everyone is saying right now, but it's hitting you somehow and it's decoding to you in a language that you need to know right now. So just accept it and run with it. Like, honestly, I am being blessed right now because, again, like, God. Okay, Najiko, take us through
Oh,
your story. Let's go. And then we unpack some things. Like, this is beautiful, honestly.
I'm gonna try and, you know, compact as
Compress.
much as I can because my journey, I think the one that is probably the most powerful or inspiring or effective is probably, you know, I was young and I wouldn't say that I came from an affluent family, but what
You
I
know
would
what,
say is that,
Najiko? I think
mm,
there is something wrong with the mic. Can you try if you can unplug it and use a direct phone? Let's see if it's any different. Because
okay,
I have a feeling it might be the battery on the wireless mic. So it's giving
Can
the
you hear me now?
static.
Is that
Yes.
better?
Okay. But wait, hold on. Are you joining this live from Safari on your phone
Yeah, I think so.
or on Google Chrome?
Safari.
Ah, I think that's it.
Is this
Now I
right?
know. Yeah, because yesterday we had the same challenge with somebody who joined, and I know that that person uses I know that that person uses iPhone, so I think it's possible that it is Safari that is causing the audio. Because again, there's no reason for the mic not to sound great because you're plugged to a mic. So, okay, are you there? Can you still hear me? Okay, so let's Najjuko try to join back from Google Chrome and then we'll bring her back up while we're waiting for her to do that. Gosh, gosh. You see, as you were speaking, I just kept saying it felt like your journey since I've known you, it's been how many years though? Because I think we met at master class, Jimmy no?
Yes,
I think
that's
so.
a lot. And it was before my 40th birthday, yes.
Yeah, that
That
was 20. That was actually 2017.
was the year.
Oh my God. And I could just see, as you were speaking, I could see where your tenacity came from. Because I know since then, like, it's like you did not, like, did not send anybody's father. If you like, if you can't, if you like, join me. If you like, I'm just doing my thing. And you've just been on that trajectory since then, saying what you wanted and living exactly what you say. And
Absolutely.
it's making sense to me now.
You
Yeah.
have to get to that stage if you want to live a life of resistance, which I call the anti-fragile life. You have to get to that stage where you are okay with not being liked by everybody. I keep saying that most of the time we run into problems when we're always wanting to be accepted or liked or loved by people. And even the person that is my mentor in life, Jesus Christ, wasn't liked by everybody. He wasn't respected by everybody. So why am I trying so hard to please people that have zero business trying to convince in the first place? So I've faced my journey and I've faced my lane and I'm unapologetic about it. So what I've done is I've taken the wounds, the things that scarred me, and I've turned them into weapons. I've turned them into weapons of mass success and victory, because I say that this same wounds that were supposed to make me feel ashamed, that were supposed to make me be less of who I am, I've converted them into weapons. I use them as my launching pad, as my stepping stone into my greatness, into my next level. I do not see them as anything less of who I am, but I see them as things that have shaped me, that have helped me to grow and become the next higher version of myself. So if you can just change your perception about the things you've gone through, what didn't kill you can only make you stronger. It is
Mm,
true, because the abuse, the violence, the all kinds of abuse that you can think of, whether it's verbal, whether it was physical, whether it was emotional, all of it, I went through it. And it's not broken my spirit. It's not broken my confidence. It's not broken my courage and tenacity and resilience to keep going forward. So I get knocked down, people. I get knocked down. Trust me. I get disappointed. I get tired. I get frustrated. But then I remember that I have something in me that is bigger and greater, and that there are people's lives tied to my own destiny. That if I don't rise, if I don't speak, if I don't teach, if I don't ignite, if I don't push, if I don't do what I'm called to do, somebody's life that is supposed to receive light from my light will never get to that point of where they're supposed to be. So that inspires me. That keeps me going, because we need to
absolutely.
have something that we anchor our beliefs in, and also that gets us up when we're down. Because if you keep getting hit over and over again, you get tired at one point in time
Yeah.
and say,
Yeah.
why am I trying so hard? Why am I trying so hard to keep getting back up when I'm just going to get knocked down? I will keep getting back up, even if it's just to save one person's life, even if it's just to inspire one more person's life, even if it's just to tell somebody, sis, you can do it, even if it's just to say, brother, you can do it. I will keep getting back up. I will keep getting back up until they put me in my grave and bury me. I will never
Stay
stop.
down.
I
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I mean, was day two, Uniforme was saying something in that regard as well. Like when you see people go through challenges and it looks like they are going through it back to back. That don't mock them. Don't feel like what is wrong with this person? You know, like the way they said to Job, you must this this is becoming
You've
too
done
long.
something wrong. It's
You must have
not
done
fault.
something wrong, right? Like, don't do that. Rather, get close to that person because it means there's something special about that person. And that's why life keeps hitting them. And then they fighting and keep going again is because they are also
Mhm.
special and they have something to deliver to their world. So rather than snigger and mock, why not get closer and know how
I
they're
know.
doing it and how they're getting back up every time they get hit? Fantastic. Thank you so much. Like it's just like your you carry fire. You carry fire and it is spreading.
Yeah.
It's in your words. Absolutely. Welcome back, Najjuko. Can you say something now? Let's hear. We're going to just manage it like that.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Ooh, it's clear.
Yes, much
Yes.
better.
Okay, now I'm just trying to find the screen. 1 second. Because I can't seem to find.
But we can see you.
Really?
Absolutely. Yes.
I can
Yeah.
only see you.
You're like really up front and center.
I'm like, where are you?
We can see you. We're like, what? Why is she peering into the camera? Like, where are
These
we?
pretty faces. Okay, there you are. Yes, thank you.
We're literally like so
Oh
freaking close
no,
to
no.
the camera. Oh, it's so funny.
Oh my god,
It's
this
like I'm
tech
looking at the
things.
camera like, sister, you're literally all over.
Sometimes this technology, they just do what they want. They do what they want. Okay, so she's trying to join again. Okay, fantastic. You're here. Can you see us now? Can
And
you
she's back.
okay.
Can you hear me?
Fantastic.
Yes,
Clear.
we can.
Perfection.
Awesome. So
That's
go
resilience in action.
I
There we go.
told you I don't stay down. I don't stay down. Okay, so I basically said I'm going to start, obviously, um, with my journey coming from South Africa, basically coming to Dubai, because I think that's what's most relevant or what would probably be most inspiring. So I come from a not so affluent background. My parents got divorced when I was 2, so I didn't grow up with a dad. But for some odd reason, my mom is an outstanding woman because regardless of their separation, she found a way to make me behave as if I was a brat. So technically, I didn't understand that I was not living in an affluent family. So obviously being, oblivious to a lot of things and a little bit naive to many things, and growing up in a Christian home, you sort of follow rules. So you're quite sheltered by, the prayers and everything that your family is doing for you. But then me being the stubborn person that I am, I was like, Mommy, you've taught me everything that you've done. Like there's no more that a mom can actually teach you. So I have to go into the world and the world has to teach me because you've done
Mm.
everything. And that was probably one of the biggest fights that we had because obviously being her last born, it was very difficult to hear those kind of words that, oh, she now wants to leave the nest. Like that doesn't make any sense. So I basically got on a plane. I had 2 options to come either on the 5th or to come on the 18th. But the eagerness to get out of the country and, do something with myself that is not necessarily, the traditional, you finish school, you go to university, then you find a husband and then you get married and then, the whole traditional African way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of lost my dad in 2011. And again, being the avoidant person that I am, I don't think it resonated that I actually lost my dad. So during 2012, 2013, you'd find there were times where I would actually try to call my dad, even though I've already buried him. So I had one of my best friends in high school who basically lost her mom in July, and I lost my dad in August. I don't know how we found each other at that time, and she was already in Dubai. So for me, there wasn't really logic to anything, even though I am an engineer. So my brain is like, wait, we can't have a foundation without, you know, a wall. We can't have a roof without, you know. But at that moment, when she gave me the proposal and said, come to Dubai, I was like, what? Yes, sure, no problem. Within approximately 14 days, I was in Dubai. So I even left with a, you know, with a heavy heart with my family, because it's not something that we sat down and prayed about. And I was just like, go. Because for me, I think it was my avoidant personality, because I never showed them that I was grieving. I showed them that I was their anchor. So basically, they were the ones who were, oh my God, I can't believe we've lost our dad, etc., etc. And obviously, I came to Dubai. So now, being this sheltered kid, you know, who has literally been spoon-fed without knowing that, oh, they actually really are problems in the world, I came to a country where I had no family member, no friends, no nothing. The friend that actually brought me here within 2 weeks or 3 weeks left to go to Qatar. So it was as good as me saying, okay, let's go to Dubai and see what happens. So the first year was quite tough for me, because I left South Africa with a very good job. I was a quantity surveyor, like understanding what it means to enter into the corporate world. This was like the most ideal situation any parent could wish for their child, which was probably one of the things that, you know, my mom was like, how do I accept that this is happening? And then, you know, fast forward, of course, it took me, let's say, approximately 3 to 4 years, because I never got straight back into what I was studying, because now I'm in a different country with different language. I'm a Black female. And then, you know, how do I start working with laborers on the construction ground? It's not the same as back home. And then there'll be language barriers and so many things. So I had to demote myself from a employment point of view, because I couldn't get back the status that I had when I was in South Africa. I had to humble myself and say, okay, let's do it for a year while you try to find your way back into engineering or construction. For about 18 months, that was not possible. So I was like, Lord, I am here now. And me being me, I'm like, I'm not a failure. I'm not going back home and saying, oh, you know what, I left, I tried, because I fought them. They didn't want me to go. And I was like, no, I'm going to find a solution. So I managed to, for the first 4.5 or 4 years, trying to figure out, like, what am I doing? Like, where am I going to go? So I tried PR and advertising. I tried a sales representative. I tried like any industry that you could think of, just to stay afloat, because, you know, Dubai is not the kind of country where, oh, well, I can just sit back, you know, for 3 months and get somebody to send me some cash and, you know, we'll figure it out. No, either you work or you get out. So obviously there's no decision. You don't go, wait. So then, you know, juggling everything for the first 4 years. And then I was trying to run away, obviously, from healthcare, because my mom is a midwife and my dad was a GP. And like most of my uncles are neurosurgeons and all this kind of stuff. So even going into university, I'm like, me, healthcare? Hell no. And then surprisingly, I met who is now my ex-boss, who introduced me into a different field, but within healthcare. And I think because of my compassion of people and wellness and understanding that wherever we want to go, if your wellness is not you as an individual, internally and externally, if you don't rectify that, then it doesn't matter how many books you read or how many podcasts you hear or how many people you follow about this is the rule book, you have to do this and this and this to become rich. If you yourself are not okay, then how do you even get there? So I joined this gentleman and I worked with him for about 6.5 years. It was probably the toughest experience of my life. It is probably the experience that taught me what resilience means. Because as a woman, and as a woman who basically got rejected from construction because of nationality and culture and all those type of stuff, I'm thinking, okay, do I have to submit now to everybody? Because I'm coming from an industry where I'm used to working with men. So does it mean now just because I'm changing the industry that it's supposed to change, or like what is the actual problem? And then I faced a lot of issues with being a woman who might be good looking in a certain industry, and that seemed to be working against me and not for me. And I was trying to understand, but why is it? Normally you would think it would, work for you, but most often than not, it worked against me. So whether it was a client, whether it was the boss, whether it was whatever it is, it just wasn't working in my favor. And funny enough, coming from a Christian background, my mother is my savior. My mother is, I'm here because of her, because her prayers kept me till today. Because of the foundation, obviously, that she set me, even though, let's say, I had potentially lost my way because now I'm in a new place, I don't have the connections and the moral support and the support systems that would have said, wait, you're going the wrong way, come back here. Ideally, I probably lost my way within those, let's say, 6.5 years. So the normal things that would give me instinct that, no, this is wrong, no, this is wrong, or the things that would center me to say, yes, it's adversity, but we can get through it. I never had the support system to remind me of that. Until, I don't know, I believe as if you have to hit rock bottom to hear God, because if he has sent you 1 million people, I think there's even a word where it says, God, I've called out to you so many times, but why didn't you hear? And then you would hear him say, but I sent you a boat and you sent the guy away. But I sent you this and you never heard. And I felt like that was me, because on numerous occasions, I think I even sat in my car and I was literally talking to him saying, but is this the right way? Do you think I should do this? I am literally quoting him say, do this, and then I would go the opposite way. And then something hit me. I don't know if it's between 22 and 2023. I was like, no, I'm tired of being, because I felt like I had to dim my light because everything that was around me was saying that, or I led to believe myself that the thing that technically should be the light into the world and help others is actually my curse. So I had to now dim my light because I thought it was my curse. That's why I was allowing everybody to either take advantage of me or suppress me or say you're not good enough or you can't do this or whatever it is. And it's not that I ever had a confidence problem. Do you get what I mean? But now relocating to a new country, and now majority of the people not giving you that support that you're used to for you to continue nurturing into what you understand is you or what is your purpose, then I started to become smaller and smaller. I would struggle to be in crowds. COVID did not help the situation because now I isolated myself even more. So people would try to reach out to me. And then obviously the depression got worse. And then I got onto antidepressants. So a lot of things was happening between the 6.5 years of now working with this man, which didn't make sense to me because I worked with men for 7 years in construction and never felt diminished or belittled or anything of that sort. So I managed to leave working with that person September 2022. And I think this is when God started to talk to me. And I'm like, but now, you're fearful because you don't want to miss one instruction. You're like, please, whatever you say, can I hear it so clearly so that I don't make a mistake the second time round? And just to lead you to why I feel that I'm truly blessed, to be here and to be able to share my story, is that when I was working in construction, the HR manager said, you are going to stand on a pulpit and you are going to talk to people. You're going to change lives. But obviously being young, I was like, yeah, okay, she was the pastor's wife. And I was like, well, this is probably the kind of information you're supposed to tell people to make them feel good. So I didn't really take her too seriously. And then again, I think I met another person who amplified this, and I don't know them. They were actually a client who had come to me at Wall Street Investment, and I was telling them a little bit about my story because they wanted to move to Dubai. So I don't have the sales pitch kind of personality, I prefer to share experience, and you either gain strength from my story and say, oh my God, if she can do it, of course I can do it too. And when I was sharing, she started to shiver and she was like, Naj, you need to talk. If you are not on a podcast, if you're not using social media, I don't know what you're doing right now, but you need to do something. And I believe that God speaks in three. So then all of a sudden, I met William, had a meeting with William, and William was now trying to write a list of who Naj is. And without thought, like I said, the world seems to be telling me who I am. And I'm like, Naj, why don't you know who you are? And on this list of the things that he's writing, he's like, she's a speaker. I'm like, speaker? What are you talking about? And then when I met Energetic, because we've literally been following each other on social media, but just, by synergy, because of maybe things that we both are passionate about. So ideally, we just cross paths and comment, maybe but never made an effort to reach each other.
Communicate.
And then when I understood that, Naj, what you go through doesn't necessarily mean it's for you.
Ooh.
God chooses his strongest soldiers to face the hardest battles. It doesn't mean that you deserve it. Somebody else doesn't have the strength to manage their situation. So I make you go through it because I know you can handle it, so you can help that person. And that's the only thing that makes me not stay down, because I know it's not for me. And as much as, yes, it's painful during the time that you're going through it, somehow psychologically, whether it's the spirit or if it's my nature or whatever, it tells me it's not that bad. Why? Because I know it's not for me. Because if it was bad, it should have killed me. But the fact that I'm still here, it can't be that bad, which means it's for somebody else. But the fact that I do not speak, the fact that I'm hibernating, the fact that I'm hiding my light, I'm sort of cutting God's purpose short.
Yeah, you're elongating their own struggles because they needed to hear you speak.
Yes, ideally,
so they
he
can
made
get
them
those
go through
strength.
those things because he wanted people to hear the story so they can go, oh, that's for me. I went through, oh my God, I'm not the only one. Oh my God, if she can do it, it wasn't for me, because I know that my path was not meant for that. It was just to, survive, then thrive and empower and become.
That's right. That's right.
So I
Gosh.
don't know if, that's the best way that I could, summarize it without, getting too much into detail. But I genuinely believe that every single thing that I've been through, I could go from antidepressants to abusive boyfriends to thinking that I'm not worthy to, the story is endless. But I don't necessarily want to focus on those things, because as we would think that those are the problems. But I'd like to see them that they happen, because I'm going to meet somebody who's in an abusive relationship and I'm going to tell them that's not for you. I'm going to meet somebody who goes through a difficult time in their career, maybe with an incompatible mentor or employee, and I'll tell them, no, this is not for you. And why I would believe that I've given myself the diamond in the business world is not because I'm Bill Gates, but because I knew how to strive from being an employee and decided I want to be an entrepreneur, not necessarily for myself, but to help others who want to become entrepreneurs. I'm still trying to get to where I need to be. But striving to me is not, it's not from A to B. Do you get what I mean? It's not like when you are on a exercise routine, oh, because I finished or I beat my time, I've now reached success. No, that's the first part of thriving. Now, after that, as individuals, we're always challenging ourselves. So it's like you moved to Dubai, you moved in a studio, okay? After 3 years, you move into a 2-bedroom apartment, okay? After 5 years, then you move into a villa, and then etc. Every step is basically a milestone of thriving. So that's why I believe any little, I'm not there yet, I want to get there. success is never ending. It keeps
Yeah,
going.
absolutely. It's a
So that's
journey.
how I try to connect, because when you approached me, I was like, she wants me to do what? Resilience, surviving. I'm like, am I thriving yet? And I'm, I wasn't sure, like, am I really the right person to do this? But the more I started to think about it, the more I was like, you're thinking too much. The spirit will lead you into what you need to say. And that
Right.
is basically, in a nutshell, my story in the best way I could summarize it in a box for whoever is listening.
Honestly, I can't, I'm having mixed emotions, like I'm smiling, but I'm crying on the inside. And like I'm cold, like I'm literally shivering. Like, what is going on here? Honestly, the combination of you two, there is no way under this heaven that I would have known that, that I would have known to, because from day one, the combination of the women, there is no way that, not like, I didn't know their stories deeply. I just have an idea. I know
Yeah.
that they have a story to share. I didn't know the details of it. But somehow, the way I've paired them, it's just amazing. Like, I'm like, wow, God, no, you did this. It can't be me. I'm not that smart. No. This, like, the both of you, what? 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 Ah, and Sarah, for me, I don't understand. Like, I don't even know what's going on today. Like, this is supposed to be an impartation service. Both of you must have done something. I don't know what you did, whether you prayed and fasted, or I don't know, because it's pouring. It's pouring. That there's an anointing in this place that is pouring. Gosh. Okay, let me calm down, because I think I might still be sure. Like, this service is for me. Like, this service is for me. Okay, let me calm down, because I know we all learn differently. And, we've said the stories. I can already pick some of the things that, you said and you've done to be able to move out. But just to kind of clarify it again for people who like to learn simpler, like, like to feed it off little by little, maybe you can itemize it. Like, okay, these are what have worked for you. It's not like they are the ultimate rule or anything, but they've worked for you, and you can confidently say, you know what, when there is an adversity in front of you this way, this, and this are some of the things that have helped me. If you apply them, it might help you. Can you please just itemize that, and then we'll round off the session.
Okay. Okay. So for me, I'll say that the first thing that I went through was a mindset makeover. So I realized that I had some stumbling blocks in my mindset that did allow me to be able to shift from where I was to where I am right now. So I always tell everybody that you're only as powerful as the mindsets you adopt. So you need a mindset makeover. Once you're able to start to see the limitations you have in your mindset and move from that point, and then move to this abundance mindset whereby you feel everything is achievable, everything is figure outable, everything is doable, then you will find
Mm,
out that truly you're empowered already. Because
mhm.
many times we mistake the word empowerment to mean having money. But I always say no, it's just about
Mm,
having the right mindset and having the right, vision. If you can see it and believe it, then you can obtain it. So I
mhm,
had a mindset makeover. Then I also decided to forgive myself because I
mm,
didn't understand how I got into the mess I found myself in my
Mhm,
marriage.
mhm.
And I was now beginning to blame not just myself, blame some other people like my mom and say that, well, you were the one that encouraged me to marry him and blah, 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 and whatever. So I had to, first of all, forgive myself, then forgive others. I told you guys that I was overweight. The minute I did that, all the weight melted off. Not a
really?
joke. I didn't exercise. I didn't go on a diet, nothing.
That's
Are
So
huge.
you
I didn't realize that
serious?
I was
Wow.
basically the unforgiveness within me was
Was
becoming like a
fattening you up.
blockage, and it was just making me expand. So the minute I let go and I said, I forgive you, Merola, for being in this situation. It's not your fault. You don't deserve it. I forgive whoever were the key players in this mess that allowed it to fester for so long. I let go and I let God. Honestly, the the weight went off. People could not believe it. They asked me how I've been able to maintain the same weight. I don't exercise. I'm freaking lazy. I don't exercise. I don't diet. I eat everything under the sun. And literally, I have maintained the same weight and the same dress size since 2017. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So it was just because I found out that when you hold on to bitterness, anger, all this kind of thing, it can become like cancer. It could grow in you in different ways that you might not be able to recognize. So you need to let go. And also, when you let go, you get back your glow.
Ooh, I
Girl, you
love
glowing.
it.
Girl, you are
You
glowing.
love that, don't you?
When you let
You know,
go,
you
you let
do, when
out
you let
your
go, you get
glow.
back your
Hey,
glow.
tweetable
Like
moments right
honestly,
there.
it
Ooh,
was
so
like
good.
no anti-aging serum could do what that did for me. People look at me and they say, "Get out of here! You cannot be 45."
45.
I'm like, you better believe it. And it's because I allowed all the things that was murky and dirty, and I just released them and allowed the beauty within me to come out.
To
So when people
flush.
see me glowing, I tell them it's not a serum, it's not MAC, it's not a company, it is from within because I love myself. I value myself. I celebrate myself. So the third thing that I will share, I'm sure NJ is going to share a lot of other tips, is the words you speak. I changed my language. I
Mm,
used to be someone that would say everything that comes to my mind, even if it's negative. So I decided to discipline myself and not speak negative words. And I became someone who was an avid fan of positive affirmations. If
affirmations.
things are not going right, refuse to use my mouth to say it. I'm going to say
Mm,
everything is amazing.
mhm,
Everything is beautiful because I believe that the words I speak are spirit and life, that I can use
mm.
my words to frame
To
my
form the
world.
world.
So therefore, I would not use my mouth to
Mhm,
frame a world I do not desire because the
mhm.
world I desire also desires me and it's just
Hey,
waiting for me to speak it. So I speak it into existence. I allow my mind, my heart, my soul, and spirit to embody it. I walk in it, even if I don't have a dime in my pocket. I tell everybody I am so freaking rich that God, they need to come meet me to loan them money because it is what you believe you are that
yeah,
others will see you as. You cannot
yeah,
ask other people to value you. You cannot ask other people to see any sense of worthiness in you when you don't believe it in yourself. Okay, let me just add one more thing. And then I move from the level of having confidence to Godfidence. I realize
mm.
that who God says I am, oh my God,
Woo.
is far bigger, better, more beautiful than anything else because I am his masterpiece. There's no one that can do me, be me, talk me, clothe like me the way I do. So I started seeing myself the way God sees me, and I started walking like a queen. So if you can do those things, trust me, no matter what challenges come your way, you will
Yeah.
be able to push back because you remind yourself every single day that I am too much. I am more than enough. Nothing is too hard for me to handle. Thank you.
Woo! Standing
Power,
ovation, standing
power,
ovation. What
power,
is this?
power.
So
She's
good.
glowing. She's
I know, right?
glowing.
Oh my goodness, I'm loving this. I am loving this. Guys, I hope you're loving it. Please drop something in the comments if you're feeling this fire. Because see, I'm already glowing. I don't know, like I'm glowing already. I'm tapping some glows right here. Wow. Najjuko, please go for it.
I think through what I've been through, the first thing that I would say, God number one,
Mm,
nothing else. Because no matter the rest of the list, if He's not first, you can
mhm,
try the rest, but you will fumble. Do you get what I mean? You won't be
mm,
consistent. You won't be resilient. You won't reach where you want to go. That is my personal experience. I know that the moment I let go of God's hand, I lost my way.
mm, mm,
I don't regret the things that I went through. I'm sure even my disobedience was sort of part of the plan, if that's the right way to put it. But I do believe God first. I definitely agree with you, Doctor, when you say words is powerful.
Mm.
Words is powerful. You know, if we are looked at as beings that, if we are made in his image and we understand that he's a three-part person, right? Where we get God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. If you think about it, we've got our mind, we've got our thoughts, and we've got our feelings. And if we don't keep the three intertwined,
Harmony.
that's when we lose ourselves, right? So if the mind thinks good things, then technically you feel good things, which means you will say good things, which means you will manifest those things. So in terms of the words being one of the things that, yes, we definitely need to monitor and speak good over ourselves, regardless of the situation, I'm 100% in agreement with you on that. And I believe even when adversity does come, I think because, you know, let's say before COVID, I can't remember, let's say, the crises from before. But I started to monitor all of these things and I was like, whoa, COVID. And, you know, COVID took us all by storm because it affected the whole world. So we're like, oh my God, COVID, we're going to die. But guess what? We got over COVID, right? And then when COVID ended, oh my God, there's a war. Even though it's still there, it's kind of dying down and life is continuing. You get what I mean? But if we anticipate, since we know that life is not sweet sailing, God did not promise you especially when you choose to walk with him, he never promised you some sweet life full of unicorns and roses. He said you will have a challenging life.
Tribulation.
So if we had COVID and we survived, and we have the war and we survived, then something else is coming and we will survive.
Right
And
on,
if
now
we
we
keep
will
it
still
in our
go.
mind that no matter what comes, we will survive. Why? Because even those who don't believe in God, but they believe in science and data and proof, we survived COVID. That's proof. We survived war. That's proof. So whatever else is coming, we're going to survive that. So I know that ties into mentality as well. But again, I think it also goes back to, even if you get knocked down, refuse to stay down. And lastly but not least, I agree with you 100%. I think you couldn't have said it in the most beautiful way ever. Godfidence. That is, I couldn't have said it better than myself. That is powerful for me.
Fantastic. Oh, you ladies, I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for just coming and for being, because this is you. Like, you came with you. You didn't leave any part of you behind. You came with your whole self and you shone through, honestly. And I just want to celebrate you too. Thank you for existing and thank you for not staying down. Because of you.
I wanted to say to Doctor, as what you said, we've stayed behind long enough, right? This is our time. This is our time.
Absolutely. You can
This
say
is
that
our
again.
time.
No one is going to take my seat on the table, and no one's going to wear my crown for me because I'm wearing it confidently and I'm taking my stage.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Cool. Imagine this power circle being in a room. What would happen in that room? That room would be on fire. Like,
oh yes,
the
I'm
room.
100% sure.
Yeah, and EJ, I want your viewers, whoever is listening right now, when you go through these challenges, I know human nature, we're going to be like, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. How can this happen to me? But once you've gone through the pity parting time, I want you to take time and actually reflect and ask that, what is going to come out of this? Never waste your pain. That's why I said every wound can become a weapon for your success, a weapon for your uplifting, a weapon for you to serve others. If I didn't go as bad as it was to actually go through domestic violence, I look at it from a positive end now because it has made me the compassionate woman that I am right now. It's made
Mm,
me to be someone who can see someone else's pain so quickly and just love up on them and hug them and tell them it's all right.
so
This was a
right.
woman, this was the kind of woman I was not before, but he birthed something good in me. So sometimes we don't like the process, but let's look to the end result of what we can do with the pain and turn it into purpose and turn it into something more powerful and more beautiful that God can be glorified in and can help save another person's life.
So good. So, so good. Thank you so much. And I just want you to say something to Sarah. I don't know, both of you. She's just been very, very active in the comment section. And this is her last message right now. I don't know whatever it is that she might be going through, but I know you two are women of faith and you have the Spirit of God in you. So yeah, just say something. Speak. Let me speak life into Sarah's heart right now. Sarah, where are you connecting from? If you can type in the comment, let's know. It's not like it's quite bright. I just want to have an idea where you're connecting from. But I love the fact that you came with your whole heart and you've been just like, wow, 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 this is for you. So I'm going to ask my guests today, these women, they are women of God, though, so I'm going to ask them to speak into your life. But thank you, Sarah, for also being here and for connecting deeply. I appreciate you. If this whole summit, the whole 5 days, was just for you,
Mhm.
just know
That's
that
right.
God really, really, really,
Mhm.
truly cares about you. And He's saying to you, it's about time that, a change is coming to you. So I celebrate with you. So, but sisters, please just speak into her life.
Vivi, you go first, darling, and then I
Okay.
would round up.
Okay. I think if there's a verse, if I remember it correctly, that resonates with me due to everything that I've been through, I think it is Jeremiah 139, verse 14. And as the example that I made, that I started to feel that what is supposed to be my blessing was my curse, which is what hid me from, fulfilling what God's purpose is. I don't know what you're going through now, but that verse, I think, saved me. That verse made me understand that I am beautifully and wonderfully made, and this I should know it well. God has a purpose for you. Don't listen to the distractions and the noise of the world and let them tell you where you need to go.
Hmm.
Seek Him first. Find a way to build that relationship first, because then you'll be able to understand yourself better, and it will make you understand that verse. And when you say it, it's not just reading it, you will believe what God says about you, which will
Hmm.
let you thrive. That is one thing that I can share that is most closest to me and personal to me.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Just
so
following up
much.
exactly, the Spirit of God is one. So, as she's just used that same scripture, it's just for me to confirm that the Lord is saying to you, Sarah, right now, that you are not a mistake. And this journey, that this point of time you are in your life right now, I am there with you. I
Mhm.
will not leave you nor forsake you. I knew you while you were yet in your mother's womb. I purposed you and predestined you for something greater and beautiful. You are a desert rose. You will bloom even in the most unsightly and most unlovable circumstances. Hold on to God. Believe that He is a way maker. He will show up strong. He is the one that will take you through. He is the one that makes a way where there seems to be no way. What is this mountain that stands before you that you think cannot be made plain? He said, speak to this mountain and it shall come crumbling down before you. As long as you have faith as little as a mustard seed, speak the word and say, Lord, I believe you, but I help my unbelief because I want to see a change. The change is coming. Hold on. Don't give up. Don't quit. The woman speaking to you right now is a woman that almost killed herself. I would not be here today if God did not show me mercy, if God did not send angels to visit me and show me that my life was worth living for because He had a purpose for me. I use the same words back to you right now, that your life is not a mistake, that
Mm.
everything you're going through is for a purpose and for a destiny to be fulfilled. Lights are going to be born because of you. Therefore, Sarah, I say, arise now and shine, for the light of God is upon you, and it is your time for you to receive the touch of God and start to walk in your new beginning. You might not feel it yet, but just trust God and know that He is there for you, and He will never forsake you as long as you believe in Him.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like, I don't even know what to say, but thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for thank you for allowing Abba just talk to you today and speak through your story. And just know that this, I mean, especially for you, Najjuko, this is just the beginning.
Oh,
This is just the
I'm more
beginning.
than blessed to have the platform with the doctor. It makes me feel I belong.
Yeah, you definitely do, sister.
Absolutely.
You don't need
Absolutely.
any external validation to tell you that. God
Absolutely.
already validated you while you were yet in your mother's womb. He marked you for greatness, sister. And I can't wait to see your
I
next
receive.
level
I
because you
receive
are
that.
powerful, powerful, and purposely built just for this. God
Thank,
bless you.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, my sisters, because if I stay, I'll just.
Oh my
Sarah, thank you
God.
for being Sarah, and I know just stay connected. If you check my page, you can see the handles for Madame Merola and Her Majesty. If you want to connect with them, go ahead and connect with them. You can also connect with me if you want to talk. If you really just need a listening ear to talk to listen to you. I'm also available. You can come talk to me, and we can pray together and all of that. But thank you for being here and thank you for participating. Every other person who participated silently, we appreciate you, right? We appreciate you. But I see you,
We
Ubu
love
Divine
you too.
Favor. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. Please do share this link with somebody that you know is probably going through a hard time right now. Let them watch and be inspired to know that, see, they're not alone. They're not the first that will be in that kind of situation. They would not be the
Mhm.
last.
Yep.
If these women could come out of it, they can also come out of it. I mean, yesterday we had a story of it's exactly the same. She just turned 25, but she got married so early, and in the space of 2 years she tried to kill herself 3 times, even with a baby. Like, she was at some point, she was driving at 140 with her baby in the back seat, all the while
Wow.
praying to be hit by another car, and God did not allow that happen.
Mm,
Thank
Today
you, Jesus.
she's inspiring young women all across the world. Do you understand? So, like, it's these stories, they might seem small, but they're so powerful. In fact, I don't know how this happened, because the day before as well, the two ladies that were on board were also like, they had their own stories of domestic violence. One actually left the, like, she didn't do it again. She had to start her life all over again. The other one as well, she had to run for her dear life. And now she has a shelter for women who are domestically violated. She has a shelter for them to at least find solace before they move on to the next level. Like, so it's just amazing how God orchestrated all these stories together. And I believe that one person, life is going to be changed. And Sarah, I really hope you are one of those people. And I congratulate and
EJ,
celebrate you.
sorry, let me just share something with you that you probably were not aware of. So you mentioned that different women have come on and talked about domestic violence. And many times we always think that, oh, the only option is to leave. The only option. I'm still married to the same man. I still live with the same person that used to be the physical abuse, and I was basically, and so 18 years. So I went through 10 years of domestic violence, and 8 years now the violence has stopped. So God works in everybody's circumstances differently. So don't always think that there is a formula for your own. Get your formula from God, because I could have walked away too. I wanted to walk away because I like peace, but I stayed out of obedience, and I have my victory now. So God uses my story to tell other people when He says stay, there is something He's trying to do. And if He tells you leave, don't listen to anybody, because you got to do what's right for you. So I stayed because that's what God wanted for me. But that does not mean that's what's right for you. That's why I'm sharing this with you. That
Absolutely.
even in the most unlikely circumstances, you can still bloom like a desert rose. You can still thrive, even when the circumstances around you are not the or the most enabling environment.
Wow. Wow, just wow. Just wow. Well done, well done, well done, well done.
But
No,
none
no,
of you
no, no.
expected that, right?
No, I think you saw my face. I was like, what?
I was like, look at her face. She's like, what? Yep, still married to the same crazy guy, but he's no more crazy.
Wow. That is the miracle.
Yeah.
No, that is the real miracle.
Yeah.
What? Wow. Well done. But thank you for even like just honestly, because I don't know what I think at some point my mind was like ask like okay, so like how did the story end? Like what happened? Did you move
No,
like
the story is still going on.
She stayed.
Still going
wow.
on.
Which goes back to she doesn't stay down. She came back
No,
up again.
no. I just changed my strategy,
Yeah.
but I'm still in it and
Wow.
I'm winning.
That is phenomenal. Like that is phenomenal. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Like it was very, very important that you said that now because again, we would have just assumed like,
Yeah, true.
okay,
Mhm.
team, what's it called? Team, what will we call it now? Team single mom, like all the single mothers, all the
No. Mm-mm. He's still there. He's literally my ATM card. So, if I want something, I just say you gotta pay.
I love it. I love it. This is fantastic. Wow. I love it. I love happy endings. Thank you for pointing that out. So now we know, like, okay, there are times that God will say, just stay because
Yeah.
there's a work that I need to do. And, like, again, in this sense,
Absolutely.
it means that the work was not only for you, the work
Yeah.
was also in Him. And
Mhm.
this is like,
Well,
there,
it was
like,
I was
it's
he needed me for his salvation to come about. So
absolutely,
that's the truth of it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Wow. Well done. Thank you. Thank you for not
Yeah.
staying down.
I thanked myself. It wasn't easy. I thank myself.
Wow, my God. Oh, your kids will be so proud. Oh, that is so good. I'm so happy. I'm happy to know that. I'm happy to know. I'm happy to, wow. Thank you for sharing, honestly. Thank you. God
Thank you.
bless you. Thank you. Guys, if we stay here, I just love these beautiful faces. I'll just be saying,
1 hour, 30 minutes.
I
It's
know, right?
okay.
I'll just be saying thank you, and then another 30 minutes will go.
Oh my
Oh, thank you so much for being here. Honestly, this has been a fantastic, fantastic outing. God bless you. Keep inspiring, keep impacting lives, keep being beautiful, keep glowing.
Oh, we
Ooh, I'm
glowing
joined the
now.
oh,
We
I know we
glowing
glowing, we
now.
glowing now. No more darling. Oh, this is so
Thank you so
good.
much for having us, to be honest.
gosh.
And
So
I don't know how. I'm even more grateful because I clearly it must be God, because I don't know how obviously you had two speakers per day.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't know how it happened, but thank you, because I think this mix was a beautiful mix, even just for me listening to her story. But thank you for giving us the platform to be able to impact other people's lives. It was truly, truly amazing. Even being able to speak about our situations, even though we believe that it's doing something for others, but being
Mhm.
able to speak about it, I believe, is almost like additional healing even for us.
Healing.
Yes.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
truly appreciate that.
Yes, fantastic. Also, let you go now so we can just go and chill. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being here. We are here again, guys. We're here again tomorrow. We're here again tomorrow. But tomorrow is Saturday, so we're here tomorrow in the afternoon. So that'll be 1 p.m. GST. That'll be 10 a.m. West African time, actually. So we can just get it done, and then we can go spend the rest of the day having fun tomorrow. So, but in the morning, if you're able to wake up early, for those of you in West Africa, 6 a.m., join me for a workout session on Zoom. And if not, well, fine. It's every Saturday. Madame Merola is like, nope, that's not for me. Like, nope, I'm too lazy.
I'm just a clown here when I'm like 6 a.m. like, oh.
The sweetest time when you are still sleeping. Like, that's the sweetest part of the sleep.
God.
I know. So, but if you can, please do join us tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. It's just 30 minutes, 6 a.m. to 6:30. We're going to be working out together via Zoom. And then we're back at 10 a.m. Yes, Nigerian time, for this final session with the two last amazing women that God has selected, because there's no way I could have selected this, because I don't even understand, but I'm just so grateful that I obeyed and I'm here. And yes, so yes, absolutely. If you're in the energetic tribe, the Zoom link will be shared on the WhatsApp group. So if you have not joined the energetic tribe, please join so that you can get the Zoom link to the workout tomorrow morning. Mwah, sisters, love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you.
Keep glowing, baby. Keep glowing.
Yes.
Bye.
All right, bye.
The kind
See you
of glow
later.
that you cannot get from any makeup. It comes from within.
Honest.
So
Wait.
we
Let me
ain't
take
faking
a
it.
screenshot.
We got the real deal. We got
Let
the
me take
real
a
deal.
screenshot. Let me take a screenshot because this glow is too
No,
sweet.
Give me a pose,
Please,
doctor. Give me a pose.
Please pose for me. 3, 2, 1. Oh, got it.
You got divas on your show today.
Love it. Please, you two should connect, okay? Connect.
Definitely,
and
I would love to.
let's
For
see.
sure.
Okay,
Oh
this
my
is what I'm going to do.
God,
I'm going to exchange your number so that you guys can just connect straight up, because
perfect.
amazing stuff should happen after now.
Yep.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye, guys.
Everybody.
Bye, everyone. Take care. See you tomorrow. Oh, my goodness.